Welcome to the Divine Connection Podcast. I'm your host, Cristina Aroche, and together we are walking the path of discovering your true self and the alignment with your soul. Through these conversations, you will experience a deeper level of connection with yourself and the universe, and most importantly, you will trust in your spiritual journey ahead. Let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode where I will be sharing about my personal journey as it relates to preparing for a new baby and how this ties in with spiritual guidance, divine support, and all of that beautiful good stuff. And so, for those of you who are new or just tuning in, I am at the time of this recording, I am pretty much almost 36 weeks pregnant with my second baby. And so, obviously on this journey of preparing for the birth of this baby and everything that is entailed within that journey. And so, with my first pregnancy, my daughter, that preparation process, I would say, is pretty similar. The difference is that, obviously having gone through that birth experience, which was a really beautiful birth experience, very empowering. I did it at a birth center, all natural, no medication, all of that stuff. I would say that the difference between that one and this upcoming one is simply just the fact that I've been through it once, so I kind of know what to expect, but also at the same time in a place where I know that every birth journey is unique and it's different. And so I wanted to come on here today and share a little bit more about my process because I didn't really get a chance. I never got around to it, I should say, I guess. Maybe I'm just making up excuses, but I never really talked a lot about my process with my first pregnancy and with my daughter. And so with this baby, who is another girl, so daughter number 2, I wanted to share more about and give you a little bit of insight of how I apply this spiritual knowledge, this spiritual connection, this spiritual support into something that is a huge, life thing that we go through, right? It's a huge life change. It's a huge preparation phase. And so kind of giving you a little bit of insight into how that has unfolded for me so that anyone who's listening, or if you know anyone who is, pregnant or wanting to be pregnant or in that process of bringing a child into the world, to see what kind of, little golden nuggets they can receive from this as well. Because I truly believe that no matter what your journey is with this or has been with this, we can, learn from each other and extract the knowledge and the wisdom and all of the things that are available to us. So I think I want to start off by first of all saying that giving birth is definitely a very spiritual experience. And it's also something that I feel when it comes to, mainstream information, mainstream media, it is not talked about in that way at all. In fact, I really believe that the way that it's been mainstreamed is it doesn't prepare people with the tools or with the empowerment of what it takes to really be in that spiritual experience when it comes to birth, right? And so, because of that, a lot of people experience traumatic births and a lot of people experience, different circumstances or situations. And so my hope is that with this episode, it can at least have you thinking about certain perspectives or tools that maybe you didn't think about before. It can help you to really empower yourself in what you're capable of and really to just support you in understanding that it's not something that we have to give our power away to, even though that is how it's portrayed in the movies, in the media, in all of the things. Birth can be a really beautiful, empowering, expansive experience. And so I wanted to share this process with you today to support you with that. Okay. And so, one of the things that I've learned, and this also, of course, came through from my first pregnancy, but really, first of all, I think it opened up my eyes to a lot of things. And one of those things was how much of an ancient tradition and how much of this ancient knowledge and sacred wisdom and energy actually exists and is known about the birth experience. And again, it's one of those things that is not talked about. And until I actually started to educate myself on it and, to really start to kind of explore this whole other world, I wasn't aware of that. I remember the first time being pregnant, I was like, okay, somehow, some way, we're going to get this baby out of here, when the time comes. And so, being able to, first of all, explore and see just how ancient this is. I mean, obviously, for the history of mankind, people have been born, right? Birth has been a part of the human experience no matter what, like since the beginning of time. And so understanding that that is, first of all, something that is so innate within who we are as humans, right? It's something that's innate within us, and really bringing it back to that it's something that's a natural part of our human existence, is something that's a natural part of our experience. And so as that became kind of like that foundation, and then being able to explore what were or are certain traditions, if we go back to that sacred wisdom and to those ancient rituals or techniques or tools or whatever, right? And one of the key things here that I feel really has supported me and that continues to support me now with this second pregnancy is understanding how important the environment is, both within you and around you, right? The environment is the key. And so with that knowledge and with understanding that, we have to take care of the environment, we have to, put the people in place and the mindset in place and the connection in place for this, that it all once we fit all the pieces together, it all works with each other. And then of course there's that spiritual energy that we don't see, that is there, that is flowing through every single person who is involved in our birth experience, that is flowing through us, that is flowing through our baby. And that is, part of this unfolding of birthing a human into the world, right? And so when I say environment, like I said, I'm talking about the internal environment within you, within your mind. And then I'm also talking about the people around you. I'm also talking about the experience when you are giving birth. And, is there music that's playing? Is there soft lighting? Is there, all sorts of things that help us to really get into that meditative state. And that's one of the things too regarding, that birth experience, is that you really do go to a different place, right? When you're going through that, when you're going through the contractions, when you're going through the experience of feeling like, okay, I kind of don't have control right now because my body is doing things and having these contractions that I have no control, right? And so that can be a piece where if we don't focus or don't prepare ourselves with the practice of trusting in our body and trusting in who we are and trusting in the divine support, then that can start to really, kind of send us in the direction of fear or in the direction of anxiety or whatever the case may be, right? So that's one of the first key things, is the surrender piece, the surrender, the understanding that this is something, it's a divine orchestration that we get to be a part of. And if we can hold ourselves in our power and in this trust of our body and in the trust of the divine, then this divine orchestration that is happening, this unfolding that is happening that we literally have no control over, is going to unfold in the most beautiful and powerful way. Okay. And so that would be the first thing that I would say, and I'm going to share with you the top 3 things, but the first thing is the work on trusting in your body and really beginning to create a solid foundation and connection with yourself, with your body, with who you are, in a way where you understand that your body holds this innate wisdom. Your body, your human, knows, right? The same way how the human body knows how to automatically breathe, how to have a beating heart, how to create a baby, right? Because literally, I have no idea, I'm not telling my body, like, do this, do that, whatever. The body is doing it on its own. It's creating the baby. It knows what to do, right? And so, the same way that we can look at it in that way and be like, yeah, I trust my body to be able to breathe and do its thing. I trust my body to, fight any sort of infection or cold when I get it, right? We don't really think about it, but your body is automatically has that immune response. And your body is just like, I got this. And you're like, yeah, okay, I know you do. It's annoying, but yeah, it's annoying that I have this head cold right now or that I'm coughing or doing these things. But yeah, I know that I'm going to be okay, right? So with that knowledge, it's the same thing with, the birthing experience. And it's really about understanding and trusting that your body has this innate wisdom and that we get to become allies with our body, that we get to have this deep relationship and this deep trust in our body. So that is the first thing that I would say that is most important with this, is looking at where do you hold fear around that? Where do you not trust your body or yourself? Where is there a disconnect between you and your body? Because that is going to be a really important piece when it comes to then surrendering to what your body is doing when it comes to being in labor and birthing a baby into the world. Now, the next part of this is connecting with spirit. And, in that, I'm also including connecting with your baby. And again, the same way, like I've talked about the innate wisdom and knowledge of your body, there's also that knowing that spirit is very much involved in this process, right? That your baby's soul is very much involved in this process. And so when we can begin to invite in that spiritual connection and invite in that spiritual energy, that spiritual truth to be a part of our existence, to know that my soul is connected to the baby soul, that's connected to the divine energy that's around us, and that we are in this beautiful dance and this beautiful synchronicity with each other, that where it's all unfolding in such a way to support one another for the highest good. And so beginning to find what your practice is with regards to connecting to your baby as well as spirit, and being able to find a way in which, whatever way feels good to you with regards to that, and beginning to have this practice where without a doubt in your mind that you're taken care of. So that, again, when you are in labor and when you are experiencing those contractions, it's like you are just can completely surrender. You know that you're taken care of because A, your body knows what's happening and your body's got you. And then B, you know that spirit has got you. You know that your baby knows exactly what to do, right? And that's where we can begin to also, work with this in a way of visualization, as well as any sort of mantras and any sort of affirmations that are helpful to you. And that is actually one of the ones that both my husband and I have been saying over and over and over again. And we did it the first time. We're doing it this time. Baby knows exactly what to do. My body knows exactly what to do. spirit knows exactly what to do. And so having that be a core belief that everyone here knows exactly what to do is going to be really supportive and really powerful to help you with this. Okay. Now, another part of this process when it comes to the connection to your baby, when it comes to the connection to spirit and the visualization piece is that I found during my first pregnancy, a really amazing book that really supported us with that visualization piece and again, that spiritual connection. And so the book is called Dream Birth by Catherine Shainberg. I'm going to leave a link in the show notes. But this book, and like literally, I have so many sticky notes inside of this book, like marking so many different pages, is literally like written visualizations. So having your partner or someone that you love, someone that you trust to read those visualizations to you and you literally doing those, closing your eyes, following whatever the visualization is, that is also incredibly powerful. And that is also a way in which you're preparing yourself, your mind, your energy, your baby's energy to really trust in the process and to trust in how it's all meant to unfold and to really set the intention, the energetic intention towards this type of, empowering birth experience. And so this book has many different types of visualizations. A lot of it is related to, and actually it goes through different phases too of pregnancy. Actually, it even starts at preconception, pregnancy, and then postpartum, and of course the birth itself and labor. But it really walks you through, and the things that stand out to you are the ones for you to focus on, right? So for me, during this specific pregnancy, one of the visualizations that's been standing out to me is one that really walks you through this process of connecting as though you're water and as though, you're like in this water-like state, you're flowing, you're just effortlessly flowing. And then, the baby kind of like flows out as well. So it's this water connected energy. Um, and I remember there was a different visualization when I was pregnant the first time and I was reading through these that really stood out to me. That was more connected to this flower energy and the baby kind of traveling through the stem of this flower and that kind of thing. So it was different. And I'm trusting in myself and I'm trusting in this process and I'm trusting in baby who, in spirit, who is directing me into whatever is meant for this specific experience. And so, this is a resource that you can use. Obviously, there's so many different ones that exist online, but this is one of those things where you can really use this connection to different resources to help you visualize, to help you to connect, to help you to experience this deeper level of awareness and this deeper connection again that exists, that is beyond just, well, there's a baby in me and we're going to get it out. It's like there is so much more to it and we have the power, we just have to choose it, right? So that is another one that I find is really important and a really powerful practice and that I am personally using. And then the third thing is to have a really great team in place. And when I say team, I mean like literally people around you who are supporting you, who are empowering you, who get you, who honor you and your wishes and what you desire, right? So, of course, that's your partner. That is, for me personally, having a doula is a must have. And so we had one with the first birth, we're having one with the second birth. So, and then whatever your team is around you, whether it's doctors or midwives or nurses or whoever it is that you feel the most connected to, feel the most supported by, the key is that all of like your team, the people who are involved, know that the number one priority is to help you to feel safe and to help you to feel supported so that you can fully surrender. Again, we must fully surrender to the experience in trust, in power, in faith in order to be able to, allow what the experience is supposed to be to actually unfold. So through that, and by choosing the people who are meant to be there at your birth, and having all of that in place, is going to be really supportive for you, for your mind, for your well-being, for your spirit, to again naturally surrender to the process that is meant for you and that is available to you. And at the end of the day, all of this feeds into the core thing, which is you are powerful. Your body knows what to do. Your baby knows what to do. You know what to do. Your spirit knows what to do. The universe knows what to do. And so all of these different tools and practices and things can really support you through this process, right? And so then, of course, as a part of that, there's also any sort of, courses or other tools that you learn, right? There's so many different kind of like breathing techniques that exist to support this, to support you in your labor and to support you when you're in that surrendering moment. And that's another thing that I am currently doing is, educating myself. Again, I'm not pretending like, okay, I did it the first time, so I know everything. I'm still looking at, the information that's out there, courses that are out there, following people on Instagram that are educating educating us with these different breathing techniques and different ways in which we can manage pain, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Mindset stuff, fears that are coming up, working through those, releasing that so that you can again be fully in the trust and the surrender of this process. Because when we do that, it is the most magical, most incredible experience that is possible. Okay. So those are my tips. That has been my experience, kind of combined past experience and how that's supporting me with this current pregnancy and leading up to the birth of my baby. And so I hope this was helpful to you. So let me know in the comments any gold nuggets that stood out to you, any other questions that you have. And as always, I am sending you so much love and angel blessings, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. And if you want to learn more about the Divine Connection podcast, you can go to CristinaAroche.com/podcast and learn about how you can be featured on the show.